Okay, this video is about the belt guards on my neighbor's John Deere E110. He had mentioned to me that he had the belt had come off, but then he had some other issues that we had to repair first, like a bad camshaft. So when I got the belt, I decided to also do the bearings. But when I took the guards off the belt, this is what I found. This is the worst side. This is the right-hand side. Look at how that stuff is worn. That's the new one. That's the old one. You can see the hole right in the side of it. The whole part there is gone that's supposed to hold the belt. That side's got the hole in it too. In fact, when I took it off, the belt was actually caught in the hole. So I ordered him a new belt and put it on with the new when I did the new bearings, but I hadn't ordered the covers yet because I had to check with him. So I put the old covers back on, and what I found was when the motor was running and the blades were disengaged, the belt was vibrating like heck. It wasn't moving, it was just vibrating, and the vibration would actually make a noise, a rattle noise somewhere. So I was all about to put maybe the old belt back on when I parked it again, and it was sitting there, it was running, the belt wasn't moving, everything looked normal, so I took it back to him. He cut for a couple of days. I went by his house and he was cutting, so I stopped and I said, shut the blades off, but leave the motor running. And I looked, and the belt looked okay, no big vibration, not moving. About 2 hours later, he's driving into my driveway. I look underneath, there's no deck belt on the engine pulley. I reach underneath to see if it's broken, and it's not broken, it's off. I don't know if I can get a shot of it, but I pulled on it. I don't think I can find it, but I pulled on it, and there's a big notch out of it. And in fact, I just got the new covers, and I took the old cover off, and the belt, again, it was sort of stuck in the cover. So I'm going to put the new belt on, another new belt. It's an aftermarket, so I'm going to measure it this time, see if it's the right length. It's supposed to be 103 and about 3/4. It really seems loose. Even the new belt seemed really loose. So I'll see how it works with the new covers. Maybe we'll have to go to a 103 belt. I'm getting the belt for about $18. John Deere's probably going to be about $50 for an OEM belt, since it's like $38 US, and add our good old Canadian premium onto that. So I'll do a comments update after I load the video or in the description to see whether it worked before I post the video. I'll let you know whether the new belt and the new covers made it work. It seemed to be the Deere dealer has been selling a lot of these covers. One was in stock, one he took a couple days to get in, but he didn't seem surprised about the problem. Okay, so there's the belt. And it's pretty obvious, I guess, that the looks like it got sliced by that hole in the cover. Here's another interesting point is the aftermarket belt I got from my supplier was a dark color, the one with the slice in it, and I just measured it about 103 1/4, listed at 103 3/4. The one I just bought like a week later is more of a gray. It's in the same cardboard, but it's more of a gray belt, and she's measuring in right at 103 3/4, which is what she's supposed to be. So hopefully we'll get her on and we get her running. Okay, so I've got the belt on. Everything that's engaged there, it seems to be okay. She is good loose when disengaged. The only thing I don't like is you can see how that belt is right at the top of the engagement idler pulley, and fairly down on there in the lowest position. I never cut in the lowest position. Every mower I've ever had, I cut in the highest position, but not my neighbor. It's got to be, 1/2 inch growth. 1/2 inch comes off, keep her looking like a golf green. So whether that affects his belt wear. The only other thing sort of puzzling, with it sitting right here, you see that wear on the front of the deck? Yeah, there's nothing obvious unless it's when he brings the deck, if the deck were up, which with him it never is, that somehow the belt down there, how would the belt get down there and rub on there? Beats me. So the mystery to me is when the belt is loose, when it's tight like that, there's no way it's rubbing on those guard protrusions that keep it on. And when it's loose, if it's stopped, it shouldn't wear a hole or anything in the guard because it's not moving. It's got to move to do that. So whether there was an issue, maybe he got stuff jammed in it or something and that kept the belt going, we'll have to ask him if he's ever had any problems with the belts where the blades didn't stop for him. The other thing that's interesting is the end of that spring is over there. You can see it's not in its regular oval groove there because he was just about to break through it. And again, I don't know what would do that. Vibration, that the spring would rub more. I had it on MTD as well where it wore out, and all I did was, rather than pay the $46 for the new idler arm, I drilled another hole for him about 1/4 inch from the edge, and given the length from the arm to way backwards engagement, I don't think it's going to make a big difference on tension and stuff like that. I guess time will tell. Well, that was looking better, wasn't it? So hopefully now I'll just take her out on the lawn and hope she cuts and keeps doing that when you take the blades off. Well, she seems to be cutting okay. I did a bit of the backyard there. The only thing I'm gonna do is double check with him. He's got a white mark here on the blade height, and if that's where he's cutting, I'm gonna double check that his scalping wheels there, anti-scalp wheels, aren't touching. They might be touching and then causing a bit of a deck issue. I don't know. Unless deer is different, they should just be off the ground at the height you're cutting so they don't dig in. End of video, I guess.